Yo, what's up guys, it's your boy Sami here. Today we are gonna see, What If, Naruto X Mei, Part 1. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please subscribe to our channel, and like this video. So let's get into the video. The council was shifting in their chairs nervously. This was bad, really bad. They had made this arrangement before the exams, before Jiraiya had taken the boy as an apprentice, before he had convinced Tsunade to come back. Mei Terumi had taken over, as Mizukage, the bloodline purge had been stopped, and the Mist wanted to form an alliance with the Leaf. They wanted a political marriage, and the council was happy to let young Naruto Uzumaki go to the Mist, at least they were before. Now they could see they had given up a very powerful shinobi, one who was completely loyal to them, and they couldn't get him back without destroying the alliance with the Mist. Tsunade was furious. I came back to the Leaf, and the first thing I found out was, if you're sending the kid away, to convince me to come here. The pink-haired woman started to speak. We're incredibly sorry, we had no idea what we were doing at the time. If we had known what the boy could do, we never would have sent them away. Tsunade released color intent at the council that made even the experienced ninja flinch, so you only regret now that you find out he's useful to you. You marrying a 14-year-old to a 17-year-old, I changed the ages a bit to make it more believable, for crying out loud. There's nothing we can do about it now, he's going to marry the woman whether we like it or not. What's done is done. I say we take comfort in the fact that they will be pleased with who we chose, and make sure the boy at least enjoys being married, said the warhawk known as Danzo. Tsunade softened slightly at that. On that much you're right, we need to make sure Naruto's happy in the Mist, both for the political and personal reasons. I trust we're going to make him a. It would be kind of insult if we sent the Mizukage genin. The council members stepped up. Of course, he will be given the rank of. He performed fantastically in the exams, and even managed to stop the Kazukige's son for destroying the village. Tsunade nodded. I've met Mei Terumi before. Naruto will definitely be happy with her looks, not that he's that shallow. She's a very nice person from what I've seen of her, and she's also a very powerful shinobi. I guess if he was gonna marry someone, I'm glad it was her. The council nodded, taking a small amount of comfort in the fact that Naruto would be marrying someone that would make him the envy of any man. Beautiful, kind, and powerful to boot, the complete package. Mei Terumi was on her way to the Hidden Leaf, her advisor out by her side. Mizukage-sama, I do hope you're not too angry with us for forcing this marriage on you. From what I've heard, you're marrying a fine young man, Ao told her. The Mizukage smiled. No, I realize it was a necessary sacrifice, and if he really did pass the exams, as a rookie, then he must be a good shinobi. Hopefully he's cute too. Mei knew she herself was a beautiful woman, with long auburn hair, perfect curves, and full lips. She had most of the men in the Mist drooling over her. You're nervous that he's you? We've had a bad past with them after all. Ao asked. They laughed. When bad doesn't mean they all are. Besides, it looks like Yagura may have been under someone else's influence. The message said he had had a bit of a rough childhood. Maybe we can relate to one another. Ao nodded. He hoped this would go well. Mei was almost like a daughter to him. He prayed she ended up happy. Mom married? Naruto asked, dumbfounded. Tsunade had just explained the whole situation to him. The marriage, him being transferred to the Mist, his everything. Tsunade gave him a soft smile. Naruto, I know you weren't expecting this, but we've done our best to make sure this is a good thing for you. I can personally tell you Mei is beautiful, kind, and a damn good shinobi. Naruto frowned. But I have to leave the village. I'll never be Hokage. I'll barely ever see my friends. Tsunade stopped him. You'll be the ambassador to the Leaf, so you'll be in the village, and see plenty of your friends. As for being Hokage, I've got something that may be a small consolation for that. Naruto was curious. What could make up for losing his dream? Tsunade pulled out a small scroll, and gave it to him. Your father wanted us to give this to you when you made it. Naruto's eyes went wide. His father knew who his father was. This was awesome. He opened the scroll, and started to read. Naruto. If you're reading this, then I'm dead, and so is your mother. I've instructed Jiraiya, and the old man not to tell you until you make it, and even then you can't tell anyone. Son, I'm Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage of the Hidden Leaf, and I have a lot of enemies, particularly in Iwa, who would stop at nothing to kill you if they found out. I would have liked to have had Jiraiya you, but with his spy network I doubt that could happen. If your mother was Kushina Uzumaki, holder of the Kyuubi, and if she's dead also, odds are the fox was sealed inside of you. I'm sorry to have put that burden on you, but I have faith you can protect the village even better than your mother did. Before I died, Jiraiya told me that he believed I would be the one who would bring peace to the world, but if I'm dead, then I can't do that, so I'm counting on you too. As Hokage, my duty was to protect this village, and if peace was brought to the world, then the village would truly be safe. I want you to bring peace to the world, Naruto, something even I, as Hokage, couldn't do. I love you, and have complete faith in you. Your father, Minato Namikaze. Naruto couldn't believe what he had just read. He really thought I would be the one to bring peace to the shinobi world. Screw Hokage, this is way better. Tsunade laughed. Naruto still had a chance to be happy, to achieve something great. Don't tell anyone about this, alright? I would send their whole army after you. Also you'll be getting complete access to the Namika's fortune, which is quite large, and to all of his and your mother's scrolls on. Last, but not least, I've got a picture of the two of them on the day they found out about you. As you can see, they were quite happy to be having you. Naruto smiled and took the picture. She was right, they were both very happy, and he had a feeling he would be now too. He had a new dream, and family things were really starting to look up for him. Naruto was walking towards the hospital nervously to see his teammates. He was wearing his new vest with pride when he stopped at the door, trying to think of a way to tell his teammates all of this. He was the one getting married, and he could barely process it. Naruto chose winging it as his best option, seeing as how it had always worked before. He took a deep breath and opened the door. Hey guys, how's it going? Sakura went to yell at the young Naruto. Yubaka, you almost woke up Sasuke. She stopped when she noticed the vest he was wearing. You made it. Yeah, but that's kinda just the tip of the iceberg. Naruto was cut off by the now awake Sasuke before he could finish. The dope maid, how? The bedridden boy screamed. Kakashi decided to speak up. Sasuke, we should be happy for him, no need to yell. Obviously the council felt he did well enough to be promoted. Well done Naruto, I also heard Jiraiya-san is training you, very impressive. He finished with one of his classic eye smiles. Chen, congratulations, I'm going for a walk, I need to clear my head, Sasuke said, getting out of his hospital bed. He walked out, giving Naruto and Sakura a slight shove as he left, much to the pink-haired girl's dismay. Naruto, why did you have to come in here flaunting your vests like that, you upset Sasuke? Well, I guess it's not really your fault. Congratulations. Sakura finished half-heartedly. Sit down, we have a lot to talk about. Naruto spent about 10 minutes telling them everything other than his heritage and waited nervously for a response. Kakashi was the first to say, well, that's great Naruto, although I don't know what the leaf will do without its favorite knucklehead ninja. He told his student, trying to hide the fact that he would really miss the boy. Naruto had brought some light back into his life, and he was sad he was going to lose that. Naruto, I'm so sorry, you come in here with great news, and all I do is yell at you. I'm gonna miss you a lot, and I'm sure Sasuke will too. We were finally starting to become a real team. Salute told him with a sad smile. She looked up and gave the boy a small hug, which the boy returned, very surprised. Thanks Sakura-chan, that means a lot to me. We're gonna go down and meet my future wife in about an hour. Can I round up everybody else so I can see them? Naruto asked. Of course, I'll make sure Sasuke is there too. How long do you have before you go to the mist? Sakura asked with a smile. About a month, Naruto responded. Great, we'll make sure it's the best month you've ever had, she said, running out of the room happily. Naruto stood in the doorway confused. I don't get it, usually she's all mad and tries to hit me, but she got all nice and even gave me a hug. What's up with that? Kakashi laughed. Women are confusing creatures, Naruto, very confusing creatures. Kinda funny that the most wonderful thing in the world belongs to the most confusing things in the world. What's the most wonderful thing in the world? Naruto asked. Kakashi smiled. You'll find out on your wedding night. The duo from the mist, Ao and Mei, stopped at the clearing in the forest. They had been told to wait for someone to come and escort them the rest of the way. Not that they really needed it, it was more of a political gesture than anything. Jiraiya of the Sannin is supposed to be the one meeting us here. I think you two have met before, Ao told her. Mei scowled at the memory of the old pervert. Oh yeah, we met all right, and when see him, I'm gonna show him just what happens to people who peep on Mei Terumi. Ao cringed. Only a few men had been stupid enough to peep on Mei, and they ended up burns in the worst possible locations. Needless to say, it wasn't pretty. Can at least hold off till we get to the village. Mei frowned. We'll see. Just as she spoke, the white-haired pervert appeared. Mei immediately got into position to burn the sand into Kingdom Come, but he cut her off. Look, I know you probably dislike me, but you can beat the crap out of me after I've told everything you need to know about your future husband. Mei hesitated, but nodded, a little surprised by his seriousness. Jiraiya handed her a large bag and began to speak. In that bag is all of his father's scrolls, and the Uzumaki scrolls on sealing and, mainly on wind, since that's his element. Also there's some water and fire scrolls in there. He has a slide in each. Also I've put all of the things he should be training on with the toads while I'm away. Finally, I place a booklet in there with all of my current knowledge on the Akatsuki in it. Mei was trying to take in everything she was being told. Wait father, I thought he was an orphan, and what's Akatsuki? Jiraiya sighed. The Akatsuki are an organization trying to obtain the tailed beasts. For some unknown reason, we believe they may have had something to do with the situation with the last Mizukage, and, as for his parents, that should be explained to you by Naruto, not me. Mei nodded, processing everything he had just told her. So what's he like? Jiraiya smiled, as he thought of his latest student. He can come off a little brash and loud, but once you get to know him you can't help but love the kid. He'd do anything for his friends, and I've never seen the kid give up on anything the whole time I've known him. If he can't do something small, he just moves on to something bigger. He's the most amazing kid I've ever seen, and you're lucky to be marrying him. Mei smiled and raised her eyebrows slightly. You really care about him, don't you? Jiraiya laughed. I may be a super pervert, but when it comes to those I care about, I'd go to the ends of the earth for them, just like Naruto would. Jiraiya got a slight frown on his face. If anyone asks, we never had this conversation. I've got an image to uphold. Tell them I asked you to tell me how your first time with Naruto goes. Actually, that might be good for. He was cut off immediately by Mei. I've only just decided not to melt your little friend. Don't make me change my mind. Forehead girl, what's all this about? What did you have to get all of us together for? Ino asked. I too would like an explanation of your urgency, Shino said, emotionless, as ever. Troublesome, I was really enjoying watching the clouds. I'm not going to be able to do that as much now that I'm a Shikamaru complained. Actually Shikamaru, that's part of the reason I called you guys here. Naruto made it too, but that's not even half of it. You guys might want to sit down for this. Sakura told them. She had gathered all of the Rookie 9 and their senseis, other than Naruto and Kakashi, also Team Guy and Iruka were there. All of them raised an eyebrow at what the girl was saying. A few of them smiled when they heard about Naruto making. Lee of course praised Naruto's power of youth. Once she finished telling them about the marriage and the transfer, the smiles faded. None of them really wanted to see Naruto go. Hinata was on the verge of tears. Sakura decided to end the silence. Guys, I need your help. I want to make Naruto's last month here as good as it can be. Ino raised an eyebrow and looked at Sakura. No offense, forehead girl, but since when did you care about Naruto? I always thought you hated him. Sakura frowned and looked at the ground. I never hated Naruto. To be honest, his constant asking me out made me feel pretty, and all his encouragement actually made me believe I could become a real ninja. This might sound kinda selfish, but I want Naruto to remember me doing something other than hating him. Ino looked at her old friend and rival and smiled. Alright, if it's that important to you, we'll help you. First off, who do we have bringing this Mei girl over here? When I asked Lady Tsunade, she said Jiraiya was going to get her. Sakura didn't get a chance to finish, as Kurenai cut her off. What? Lady Tsunade sent that pervert to go get her? No way, me, and one of the girls will go see her, and make sure Jiraiya didn't try anything on her. Kurenai yelled. She hated perverts, and while she respected Jiraiya, he was definitely a pervert, and was not to be trusted around a woman. As far as she was concerned, Hinata, would you like to come along? Hinata quickly nodded. She wanted to meet the person who was stealing Naruto. If she couldn't be the one to make him happy, she sure as hell would see to it Mei did. Mizukage or not. The others went to get everything else ready. Mei would be there in about 20 to 30 minutes, which wasn't much time, and they all had a few things they wanted to get ready for Naruto and his soon-to-be bride. What the fuck, that little shit is marrying that hot piece of ass. Damn, some people get all the fucking luck. Haiden, the immortal of the Akatsuki, whined. The 10 members of the Akatsuki were gathered to discuss the status of the captured tailed beasts. Wow, 5 curse words in one sentence. Might be a new record for you. Tadara, the art-crazed explosives expert, laughed. Actually, Haiden's record is 8 swear words in one sentence, said a man who was wearing an orange mask. Tadara scowled. Toby, got out of here. You're not even an official member. But Toby hasn't gotten a cookie, Toby whined. Konan, the blue-haired second in command of the Akatsuki, reached in her cloak and handed him a cookie. Here you go, Toby. Now buy a good boy and run off. Awesome, thanks Konan-chan, Toby replied, running out of the room. Man, I feel bad for whoever gets him as a partner, Tadara muttered. With his new relationship to the Mizukage, it would be best to wait to go after him. I trust you all know your new assignments. The leader of the Akatsuki, known as Pain, told them. They all nodded. Alright, head out, you know what to do. Sorry about them sticking you with the pervert, Kurenai told the Mizukage. They had gotten to her about 5 minutes ago. They were set to reach the leaf in about 10 minutes. It's okay, he actually wasn't too bad, for the most part anyway, Mei responded with a smile. She had ended up slapping Jiraiya once, but that was the worst of it. Hinata, who had been silent up to this point, finally got the courage to speak. You're going to make Naruto happy, aren't you? She asked quickly. Mei was surprised at the question. Of course, why do you ask? Hinata looked down. He's very important to me. She told her. She was starting to lose control of her stutter. Mei smiled, starting to understand how she felt about the boy. That's good, how about you tell me all about him on the rest of the way there? Hinata gave a small smile. She was more than happy to talk about Naruto. Mei listened happily, learning more about her soon-to-be husband. Naruto stood nervously at the gate. Mei was due to arrive at any moment, and several of his friends went out to grab him something. Ino had gotten him different clothes, as she refused for Naruto to meet Mei wearing so much orange. It was a simple long-sleeve black shirt, his vest, and black pants. Ino also sent Choji and Shikamaru to get flowers from her parents' shop. Enko had come over when she heard about Naruto's marriage. She had come to like the boy after the exams, and gave him a black trench coat with the Uzumaki swirl on the back. Finally, Kiba gave him the fang of a past Inizuka dog, a sign of major respect, and a way to show everyone in the mist he was backed by the Inizuka clan. It was connected to a small chain around his neck. He was visibly sweating. Iruka put a hand on his shoulder and whispered to him, "Naruto, relax, we're all right behind you. She's gonna love you just like we do, it'll go great." Naruto took a deep breath and looked out to see Mei walking up towards the gate. Naruto was speechless as he looked at his soon-to-be wife. She was incredibly beautiful, truly breathtaking, perfect curves, auburn hair, amazing green eyes, and a walk that just screamed sexy. "Wow, just wow," he stuttered. Mei smiled, happy to see him completely under her spell already. "Thanks, you're pretty cute yourself." She wasn't kidding, the whisker marks were very exotic, and he had a very muscular frame for someone his age. Naruto shook his head and brought himself out of his stupor and brought up the flowers. "Sorry, these are for you, it's very nice to meet you. This is gonna sound kinda stupid, but how do I greet you? Do we shake hands, hug, what? I'm not really used to this kind thing." Mei brought the flowers to her face and smelled them. They had a fantastic aroma. She gave a small laugh at Naruto's question. "I think a hug would be the best choice. A handshake is far too formal." Naruto smiled and walked up to the woman, who quickly enveloped him in a hug, pressing his face in her cleavage for added effect. The blonde blushed heavily, and his friends laughed behind him. Anko was the first to speak. "Wow, if your face got any redder, you match the Mizukage's hair. By the way, is that colored, or do the curtains match the drapes?" Everyone's jaws hit the floor. Only Anko would ask the Mizukage a question like that. Mei just smirked. "Sorry, that's for me to know, and Naruto to find out." Naruto nearly passed out after hearing that. Anko just laughed. "I think you and I will get along just fine." All of Naruto's friends began to ask questions of their own, but only Sasuke managed to get through. "You know you're marrying the dead son of the academy, don't you?" "Sasuke?" Kakashi snapped. Mei just smirked. "Funny, it seems he's wearing a vest, and you're not. Seems like you've been surpassed by my soon-to-be husband if you ask me." Kiba fell on the ground laughing. "Dude, she just told you. Hot and funny, lucky you, Naruto." They were all about to try and start asking questions again, but they were cut off by Naruto. "Look, I know you guys want to get to know Mei, but I really need to take her to see the old lady, and I'd like to at least try to get to know her a bit on the way, so did you guys mind?" They all got the idea and nodded. Naruto looked back at Mei and offered her his arm. "Shall we head out?" Naruto asked. "Thank you, Iruka-sensei, for teaching me how to be polite towards a woman," Naruto thought. Mei smiled and took his arm, and they began to walk to the Hokage's office. Naruto decided to get the biggest question on his mind taken care of first. "So you know about the fox already?" Mei nodded. "Do you know are you?" Mei stopped him with her hand. "Naruto, I don't hate you, heck I've just met you. If anything I already have a great impression of you. After all, you had that many people cared enough to support you with all this." Naruto smiled, talking about feeling a weight left on your shoulder. "Oh yeah, pervy sage didn't try anything on you, did he?" Mei shook her head. "No, he was actually pretty nice, even gave me some scrolls for you." Naruto raised an eyebrow. "Would he give them to you?" "Just because you have a scroll doesn't mean you can use it. We have to have someone who knows something about that element, sealing, or one of the toads for the toad scrolls, to teach how to understand what's inside. I'm the only one who can get those scrolls into the mist, and find you teachers without them confiscating the scrolls. By the way, Jiraiya mentioned something about your father, but I had heard you were an orphan. Care to explain?" Mei asked him. Naruto nodded. "We're almost to the homage's office. We should probably wait till we get there before I explain it." Reluctantly, Mei agreed. As much as her curiosity was piqued, she supposed she could wait a bit longer. Sasuke was busy at the training grounds, destroying trees with fireballs, and grumbling to himself. He was beyond angry. How dared that damn woman imply he was weak? Did she know who he was? It was insulting being looked down on like that, let alone around the others. He continued to grumble when Kakashi walked up to him. "Care to explain what that whole thing back there was all about?" Kakashi asked in his usual nonchalant tone. Sasuke scoffed. "Humph, I was just giving her the facts. She's marrying the dead last, isn't she?" Kakashi didn't look up from his icha. "That's funny, didn't he save your life twice during the exam?" Sasuke scowled. "So what if he did? Who cares? He just abandoned us the moment he got any good. All of a sudden he gets all these friends, and now he's just leaving. You said it yourself, he's lower than trash now. Forget him, who needs him?" I don't need anyone," Sasuke screamed. Kakashi looked up from his book. "He's not trash, Sasuke. He didn't choose to leave. He's doing it for the village. Wait a minute, this is about you, isn't it? You don't want to admit you're gonna miss him." "No, I'm not. He's just gotten too big of a head," Sasuke snapped. Kakashi sighed. "Sasuke, why do you think it's not okay to miss him? Naruto told me you only felt he could relate to growing up, and something tells me you feel the same. He's been your rival for years now. You saved his life in the wave, and he saved you from Gar. What, did seeing Itachi again just magically turn back to pain in the ass we met on the first day?" "Shut up. You want me to say it, fine. I'm gonna miss Naruto. Are you happy now?" Sasuke screamed. "Yep, that's all I needed. See you later," Kakashi said, looking back down at his book. Sasuke just stood there dumbfounded. "Bastard tricked me," he muttered. Tsunade had the Uchiha on her mind as well. She was in the middle reading all of the classified documents she needed to be filled in on now that she was Hokage, and she had just began to read up on some of the secrets of the Uchiha clan, and she was shocked. As she began to read the file on the massacre, she was snapped out of her reading when someone knocked on her door. She put the scroll away and yelled, "Come in." Naruto walked in, his arm hooked with Mei's. "Hey Ba-chan, how's it going?" Mei looked shocked. "You call the legendary Sannin, pervy sage, and Ba-chan. You must have a death wish." Tsunade had a tick mark on her forehead. "I believe he does." Naruto gave his classic foxy grin, and scratched the back of his head. "How else would you know it was me? Anyway, I brought Mei here to fill her in on everything she doesn't know yet. We should probably start with my dad. She's pretty curious about that." Mei nodded. "Yes, I really would like to know what's going on with Naruto's father." Tsunade's face got serious. "You can't repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone. It would put you, Naruto, and many others in danger." Mei couldn't possibly have been more curious. "Alright, will you please just tell me already?" Naruto looked at Mei. "My father was the Yellow Flash, Minato Namikaze." Mei was immediately silent, completely shocked. "Wow, well that would explain why you were chosen to contain the Kyuubi, and I'm guessing Iwa is who you don't want to find out." Naruto spoke up once again. "What about the Akatsuki? How much do you know about them?" "Only what was in the scroll Jiraiya gave me," Mei told him. Tsunade frowned, and almost forgot about them. "That reminds me, Naruto, we need to get you training again. The old purse said he wanted you to start with wind scrolls that he gave Mei, so I'm going to have Asuma start training you with wind chakra." "Makes sense. When do we start?" he asked. "In about a week. We wanted to give you a little time to rest. Also Asuma wanted to track down a chakra blade strong enough to contain demon chakra. He was planning on teaching you some wind style." Tsunade replied. Naruto raised an eyebrow. "Chakra blade, is that like the one that Kisame used?" Mei decided to ensure that one. "Yes, but they don't usually look like that. Samahata is unique. They usually just look like normal metal. You can only tell the difference when you channel chakra in it." "Is Kisame the only Mist Ninja you've ever met?" Naruto shook his head. "No, I met one the other swordsman, Zabuza, and his apprentice Haku. She had some kind of ice bloodline." "You met Zabuza, is he still alive?" Mei asked. "No, they're both dead. Too bad. Once they stopped trying to kill us, they were kind and nice," Naruto told her. "We marked their graves with his sword." Mei smiled. "Problem solved, Tsunade-san. I can send someone to revive the blade, and Naruto can use that. It's a chakra blade, and a blade that will be made can definitely contain the Kyuubi's chakra." Naruto raised an eyebrow again. "You really think I'm worthy to wield one of the 7 great blades? I'm not even sure I could lift it." Mei laughed. "Trust me, Naruto-kun, I'm sure you'll be able to use it quite well." Naruto blushed at the new suffix. "Thanks, Mei-chan." Tsunade nodded. "Sounds good. We'll get everything ready. You just keep yourself in shape. Also Naruto-kun, I've got something to teach you, as well." Mei told him. "What's that?" he asked. "Will be Naruto-kun, I think I'm pretty safe in guessing you're a virgin, and I am too. I think we should get used to being intimate with one another before the honeymoon. We won't be going all the way until the wedding night, but I will be teaching you a few fun things leading up to that," said Mei. Naruto had a small trickle of blood coming from his nose. He nodded with a very big blush on his face, causing Mei to laugh. She could tell this was gonna be fun. Mei and Naruto returned from the tower to find that every one of Naruto's had waited, so that they could properly meet her. They all questioned the young Mizukage. Ino asked how she kept herself looking so good, Kiba asked if she was a dog or cat person, Lee asked how bright her flames of youth were, and plenty of other questions. Asuma's question was the first one that was actually relevant. "So, what is it that makes you cage level?" Mei smirked. She was hoping someone would ask her. "I've got 2 bloodlines, Lava Release, and Boil Release, both of which I mastered." Everyone looked in awe. To have mastered 2 bloodlines was quite impressive. Sakura spoke up next. "No offense, but doesn't that mean you've peaked?" Mei smirked. "You think, but no, I've mastered everything known about my bloodlines, but that doesn't mean I can't expand on them." Naruto looked at the clock, and then back at his friends. "This has been fun, and all, but we need to go to the new apartment Bachan set up for us for the month." They all nodded, and waved goodbye. "I can't believe she looks that good without dieting," Ino whined. "I'm just glad she's a dog person," said Kiba. The new apartment was nice, not extravagant, but nice. Naruto changed into an orange pair of shorts and black shirt. He decided to ask Mei about the sleeping arrangements. She was changing in the bathroom. "Mei, who's gonna sleep where tonight?" Mei walked out, and Naruto's jaw hit the floor. She was wearing a blue nightgown showing off plenty of her figure, mainly her long legs and ample chest. "We're going to sleep in the same bed, silly," she said with a smile. Naruto blushed, but nodded, and went to lay down in the master bedroom. Mei lay down next to him, and laughed. "Don't you like sleeping next to me?" "Of course I do, it's just look, I've never even kissed a girl, so this is kinda new to me," Naruto told her. Mei gave a playful pout. "Oh no, well don't you worry, I'll give you plenty of affection, you'll get used to it real fast," she said, planting a kiss on his cheek, and lying down on her pillow. Naruto was shocked, but smiled soon. This marriage thing was starting to have its perks. The next week went by pretty fast for Naruto. He had been keeping in shape by training with Guy, which was ridiculously hard, but did give him a chance to have him help refine his taijutsu, so it all worked out. He continued to talk with Mei, getting closer with her every day. They discovered they had a very similar past, her with the bloodline purge, and him with the Kyuubi being sealed inside of him. Mei continued to embarrass Naruto when they slept in the same bed, cuddling with him, and giving him kisses on the cheek, but Naruto didn't really mind all that much. Actually, he really enjoyed it. Sakura had done her best to be a better friend to Naruto. She even came to visit him and Mei in their apartment. Sasuke had admitted to himself that he was going to miss his rival, but he still refused to admit it to Naruto, though he did make a better effort to be a little nicer to the blonde. He now asked for spares, rather than order them, and he had actually congratulated Naruto and Mei on their so-to-be wedding. The week was one of the best Naruto could remember. The day came that Naruto was set to start learning with Asuma, and Mei was currently on her way to Team Guy's training ground to give him Kubikurubuchi, his new swords once wielded by Zabuza. It was still early when the blade came, so Mei knew Naruto would be training with Guy, so she decided to surprise him and bring him the sword herself. Naruto was panting heavily when she arrived. "Oh hey Mei-chan, what are you doing here?" he panted. Mei smiled. "The Kubikurubuchi came. I thought I would bring it to you. You start your elemental training today, so you'll probably need it." She hands the massive blade to Naruto. "Be careful, you may be strong, but you can't properly lift the blade until you channel chakra into it, and you shouldn't do that till Asuma shows you how." Naruto looked at it wide-eyed. It was just as amazing as he remembered it. He could barely lift it, but something felt right about having it in his hands. "Amazing," he murmured. Tenten, who had also been training with Guy, looked at blade like a child looks at a new toy. "Oh my gosh, the Kubikurubuchi. It's amazing. I can't believe I'm really seeing it in person." She continued to stare, and the blade, then at the person holding it, and blushed. She had a thing for weapons, which didn't go unnoticed by Mei. "Naruto, we should head out. We have just enough time to get there. And Miss Tenten, if you would stop eyeing his sword please," she muttered. Tenten blushed and nodded. Naruto looked a little confused, but followed. As they were walking he asked, "What's up Mei-chan?" We had plenty of time when Naruto didn't get to finish. As Mei slammed her lips into his, Naruto's eyes rolled into the back of his head at his first kiss. When she stopped he slowly got his thoughts to come back to him. "Not that I'm complaining, but what was that about?" Mei blushed slightly. "Naruto-kun, I'm a rather jealous person, and seeing that little weapon girl eyeing you up, I just felt the need to remind you who you're marrying." Naruto was confused again. "Mei-chan, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. You're really nice, and funny too also. I may not be experienced, but you're definitely a good kisser. Why would I do anything to make you mad? You're awesome." Mei smiled widely. "Good, I'm glad you think so." She leaned forward and smiled seductively. "It had been a good kiss. If you really feel that way. We have about 15 minutes before we have to see Asuma. That leaves 10 minutes all to ourselves. Shall we enjoy them?" Naruto smiled and nodded. Mei immediately leaned in, and they picked up where they left off. When Mei slipped her in her tongue, he nearly passed out. Asuma looked up to see Naruto running his way. He was about 5 minutes late, and Asuma didn't need to wonder why. Asuma smirked. "Naruto, you have a little of Mei's lipstick on your cheek." Naruto turned the color of a tomato and wiped it off. "Oh sorry, can we just get started, and maybe not mention this to anyone?" Asuma laughed. "I would think you'd be proud of that, but I guess you're just a shy kid. Fine, I won't tell anyone. I see you brought the sword." Naruto drew Kubikurubuchi and nodded. "So what do we do first?" "First, try channeling chakra into it, as little as you can. I want to see how Kubikurubuchi handles the Kyuubi's chakra, and it will also show me how much chakra control you have, and how long you have before you can fight with your wind chakra properly," Asuma told him. Naruto started channeling chakra into the blade, trying to use as little as possible, the blade glowing blue with a slightly red tint. He was trying not to use much chakra, but the blade still shook in his hands. He stopped, and Asuma began to speak. "Well, with the chakra just fine, but we're going to have to improve your control quite a bit. Luckily with your shadow clones, we can cut the time down quite a lot. You'll probably be able to start learning wind." Naruto was excited at that. "Awesome, what do I do first?" "You take a leaf, and try to cut it in half with your wind chakra. Make as many clones as you can, and have them all do the same thing. I'll be keeping an eye on you, and give you tips. When we're done we'll have you disperse the clones one by one, so that you don't pass out from information overload," Asuma told him. Naruto created as many clones as he could, and got started. Naruto got back to the apartment, and fell down on the bed, exhausted. Mei walked in, and laughed. "Rough day Naruto-kun." Naruto sighed. "That was the most training I've ever done in one day, even when I trained with the pervy sage for the Chunin exams." "You're a wind right?" Naruto nodded. "How far have you gotten with the lead cutting exercise?" "About a third of the way up the leaf. You think anyone could teach it, but there's a lot of little tricks you have to be a wind user to understand. Asuma-sensei is a really good teacher," Naruto told her. Mei's eyes got a little wide. Wow, in just one day, that's pretty impressive. Naruto smirked at the praise. Will the shadow clones helped? Once I dispersed them it got a lot easier. I used as many clones as I could. I lost count when I got up to 300, and I was only halfway there. Mei's eyes got very wide at that. You made that many clones. I knew they had large chakra reserves, but wow. Naruto laughed loudly. Yeah, between being an Uzumaki and having the Kyuubi's chakra filtered into me, my reserves are pretty big. They make training easier, but chakra control harder, but I learned to use it to my advantage. Mei smiled. You train very hard. Naruto's face got serious. I have to. I've got to protect everyone important to me, including you, and I can't let my dad down. He died believing I would be the one to bring peace to the world, and I'm going to. Mei lay down next to him. I know you will, and I'm glad you think of me as important enough to protect. He smiled, and they shared a brief kiss. They soon drifted off to sleep, resting to get ready for the next day. Tsunade couldn't believe what she was reading, couldn't believe some of this was insane. The Uchiha massacre was just a cover, a story made up to cover for the Uchiha trying to overthrow the village. Even worse, things hadn't gone as planned. The civilians and children were supposed to live. Itachi hadn't intended on killing them. Someone had interfered and killed everyone. Itachi didn't. Itachi left the village, hoping he would someday be finished by his brother, the one person he could never bring himself to kill. But until that time he was a spy for Jiraiya and the Akatsuki. Itachi couldn't do much without being found out, but something was better than nothing. Tsunade sighed, and placed the scroll back in the Hokage library in the vault, next to Naruto's new scrolls. She left feeling rather sick to her stomach. The life of a ninja was a hard thing to bear at times. Naruto woke up, and smiled at the sight of Mei next to him. He had grown to really enjoy that sight. He gave her a gentle kiss on the neck to wake her up, which of course she did. Morning Naruto-kun. Naruto continued to smile. Morning Mei-chan, how are you? Pretty good. I've been thinking about who I'm going to have as my bridesmaids. Any thoughts to your groomsmen? Mei asked. Naruto frowned. No, not really. I'm gonna ask Sasuke to be my best man. Doubt he'll accept. Mei nodded. Remember, you have to pick 2 from the leaf, and 2 from the mist. You can pick the 2 from the mist when we get there. We won't be married for a month after. Alright, who are gonna be your 2 from the leaf? Naruto asked. Mei laughed. I thought about Anko, but they'd never let me do that. Still, she'll be fun at the reception. I picked Sakura and Hinata. Oh, and I put Ino in charge of flowers so she doesn't complain. But I'm gonna go get a shower and find Sasuke before I have to start training. She's in a bit, Naruto said, getting out of bed. Alright, see you soon. Mei rolled over and fell back asleep. Sasuke was busy training when Naruto walked up. Hey Sasuke, you got a minute? I guess. What do I need? Sasuke asked. Naruto smiled. His tone wasn't his usual one that said, I'm better than you. Well, I was wondering if you'd maybe be willing to be my best man at the wedding. Sasuke thought about it. Before he would have said no outright, but now, he thought it might not be such a bad idea. He was trying to make an effort not to lose his only real friend. Sure, why not? Naruto was shocked. Alright, great. This means a lot to me. Thank you. Sasuke smirked. Alright, just don't get all sentimental on me. I gotta go. See Sasuke soon, Naruto said, and ran off to the other trying grounds. A group of 4 ninjas, all from the hidden sound, watched from a distance. They couldn't help but think things were going to get complicated. Thanks for watching my video. Leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. See you next time. Till then, sayonara.